We're connecting with doctors. We're connecting with community experts. We're connecting with you. This is Connect by 3 News.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to 3 News Connect. We are coming to you on a rainy Monday because we want to keep you connected right now. I'm Monica Robbins, and hey, Jay Crawford, how are you?
How are you, Monica? I hope you had a relaxing and enjoyable Easter weekend. I hope everyone at home did as well. It's hard to believe, Monica, we are now into our 4th week of home hosting. We start each day with the latest developments in the fight against the coronavirus. And on that note, let's get you going. Things you need to know on the coronavirus fight. We've just learned that another RTA employee has tested positive. The employee is married to a transit worker, a police dispatcher who had previously tested positive. This is the 5th RTA employee with a confirmed case of the coronavirus. Due to a lack of demand and an ongoing price war between Saudi Arabia and Russia, the national average for the cost of a gallon of gasoline is at its lowest point in 4 years. AAA says, on average, a gallon of gas will cost Americans just $1.88, but most of us can't take advantage of it. 42 states are under stay-at-home orders. And good news for British Prime Minister Boris Johnson. He is out of the hospital after his bout with the coronavirus. He posted a video to Twitter thanking the National Health Service staff for saving his life. He is one of the most high-profile political figures to have COVID-19. Monica?
Well, right now, the U.S. has more than 547,000 confirmed cases and 32,000 recoveries so far. And we're still waiting to see when the number of deaths will start to decline here in the U.S. Now, one model out of the University of Washington suggests we hit that point as of yesterday. That model shows only if social distancing practices continue, the daily fatalities will hit 0 by the end of June. But remember, that is just one of many projections. And this week, President Trump plans to meet with his coronavirus task force on the reopening of the economy. But already health experts are pushing back on his targeted May 1st date, saying the country still needs the right diagnostic tests.
The primary issue here is the safety and the welfare of the American people. That has to come first.
It's going to be a virus that stalks the human race for quite a long time to come until we can all have a vaccine that will protect us.
If we had, right from the very beginning, shut everything down, it may have been a little bit different. But there was a lot of pushback about shutting things down back then.
Dr. Fauci is now saying the best case scenario would be to reopen the country slowly, perhaps by early May. Jay?
Monica, we have some financial hope this noon for many suffering Americans. The Treasury Department says tens of millions of people will receive their coronavirus stimulus payments through direct deposit this week. And paper checks, they say, will be arriving in early May. Many of you have been asking questions about how the stimulus payments will work and how much money you may get. Danielle Serino here now to sort it all out.
It was the tweet heard round the country, the IRS saying, check your bank account, because if you have direct deposit, that stimulus check could already be there. And for some, it's a matter of survival.
From the very beginning, it's been everything. Just pretty much lost 100% of business.
Most Americans earning $75,000 or less will get $1,200, an additional $500 per dependent child. But the check amount decreases by $5 for every $100 you earn above $75,000. Your income is based on your 2018 or 19 tax return, whichever is most recent.
That's going to help them put food on the table, the medicine they need, and to have a sense of security, which most people don't have right now.
Those receiving Social Security retirement, disability, or survivor benefits will also get checks, unless someone else claims them as a dependent. And people who've never been required to file taxes in the past are also eligible. Just go to irs.gov to submit your information now.
On this vote, the yeas are 96.
The best part of the stimulus, the money won't be taxed, won't be deducted from any tax refund you may get this year, and won't have to be paid back.
We can now call it a bill that puts workers first, not corporation.
But not everyone's being put first. If you owe child support, your check's going toward that bill. If you're behind on your private student loan, you also won't see the money.
These were tough times for a lot of people before the coronavirus crisis. And so if you have judgments against you, or if you've been trying to catch up your bills and you haven't been able to, and somebody's taken a judgment, they can come in and take that money and garnish it.
And if you earned more than $99,000 last year, but are unemployed now, you're also out of luck.
Now, this first round of checks is for people who have direct deposits set up with the IRS. If you don't, the government says it will be sending paper checks the last week in April to those with the lowest income first. For those in the higher income brackets or who have never filed taxes before, you could be waiting until mid-September for that check. I'm Danielle Serino, 3 News.
All right, Danielle, thank you very much. There is an addendum to Danielle's last note. The IRS says in less than a week, it'll have a portal up and running on its webpage where you can give your direct deposit information to get your check even faster. That is certainly good news. Well, Cleveland's RTA is scaling back, no surprise here, on both bus and rail services. The changes went into effect yesterday as part of the transit's response to the coronavirus, as they've seen a significant drop in the number of riders. The same communities and destinations will continue to have service. That service, though, will be less frequent. If you need to see the new schedule on the RTA website, you can do so there, or you can go to our website, WKYC.com, for a direct link. The Cleveland Public Library is helping to save lives and protect first responders. This is a great story. The library will soon make 2,000 face shields using the facility's 3D printers. The production actually began this morning, and the face shields will go to the city's Department of Public Safety workers for use by Cleveland Police, the Fire Department, and EMS. Monica?
Well, as many of you know, most dental offices are closed right now, and that's causing confusion over what people should do if they have a dental emergency. And that's important information right now when ERs and hospitals need to be able to focus on COVID-19 patients. Well, we talked to a local dentist about it, and Austin Love has more on what you need to know.
We're just trying to do our part because we're trying to keep these patients from seeing the ERs because we know they're all way too full.
Right now, dental may not be doing elective procedures, but they are open in case you end up in a dental emergency.
They have a swelling, if they have pain in their mouth, if they have an issue where they cannot function, normally, if they're not able to eat, definitely call up the office. For sure.
Emergencies include everything from toothaches, extractions, and root canals. But if it's not an emergency, you are asked to wait until social distancing is over to see your dentist.
You want to look at it is like this. Can it hold out for another couple weeks? If it can't, then please call your dentist.
Now, Dr. Rico says they are taking extra precautions to keep their staff and patients safe, and that includes working with a skeleton crew, extra disinfecting of the office, and taking patient temperatures before treatment. Well, today is Dingus Day in Cleveland, and unlike this video, which shows celebrations from years past, things will look a lot different today, but you can still celebrate this year. The annual party will take place on Facebook Live today from 1 until 3 p.m. this afternoon. Music, lots of food, and local chefs will be featured, all safely separated from one another. Dingus Day is a Polish-American tradition that celebrates the end of Lent with some polka party fun. And we want to keep you up to date with the latest facts on the coronavirus and its impact. To get a direct link to our coverage on your phone, just text the word FACTS to 216-344-3300. Again, that's a text, not a phone call. We'll be back after the break.
Welcome back to 3 News Connect. The CV pandemic, coronavirus, is literally impacting all of us. It's changed how we're living our day-to-day life, and it has not been easy. But imagine on top of dealing with all of that, you have to worry about your home or business actually being physically destroyed. That's what's happening now in the South as the entire Southeast United States is dealing with the after effects of powerful tornadoes. Look at this video. This was taken earlier this morning. It's an aerial view of Seneca, South Carolina, where a tornado touched down this morning. You can see homes are destroyed or damaged. What looks like a factory also destroyed. Several trees blocking roadways. We know at least one person that was killed in this particular storm, and several others have been injured. South Carolina isn't the only place dealing with tornadoes. As of this morning, more than 30 tornadoes were reported in Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Georgia, with at least 17 deaths reported in that region. Also over the weekend, a huge crowd gathers at a Kentucky church for in-person services on Easter Sunday, and Kentucky state troopers got involved. The gathering was against their governor's orders. Troopers actually wrote down license plates of those in attendance and put flyers on cars instructing people to self-quarantine. The police will send the license plates to the health department just in case there is a need to trace a positive case of COVID-19. Monica?
Well, Jay, police in Savannah, Georgia are using drones to remind people to continue social distancing. The drones are being used to warn people who are too close together to separate. Savannah police have 5 drones. They're devoting 2 of them to monitor physical distancing. And police officers say the drones allow them to cover more ground than when they're on foot. And while under stay-at-home orders, why not tackle a chore you were probably putting off anyway? Cleaning the house. In fact, doing this could result in a much cleaner and safer and healthier home environment. Here's details from Chris Clackham.
Most of you who've been cleaning like crazy to hold the coronavirus at bay have also gotten a jump on spring cleaning. So it's best to take one room at a time, starting in the bathroom.
Bathrooms are damp. They're perfect for bacteria and yeast and more to thrive.
So disinfect doorknobs, handles, and other hardware before you begin, and take the time to swap out razors.
Dermatologists are now recommending you replace your razor every 5 to 7 uses.
Consumer advocate Elizabeth Leamy says, next, move on to the kitchen, where something else along with old sponges and cutting boards should be tossed.
Battered old plastic food storage containers. We've all got a drawer full of them. And if they have the numbers 3 or 6 on the bottom in particular, they are outdated.
Replacing mattresses should lead the list of spring cleaning the bedroom.
If your mattress was made before 2010, it didn't benefit from the CertaPure US program, which makes sure that the foam used in mattresses is made without chemicals of concern.
With all the cleaning in the spring of COVID-19, the advice is do it like you've never done it before. Chris Clackham, NBC News.
Oh, that just made me tired. Well, it was a special Easter Sunday for a Lorain County woman who celebrated her 100th birthday. Friends and family of Vera Hughes of Elyria gathered to wish her a happy birthday. While they all practiced physical distancing, of course, there were special messages and even songs from friends and neighbors. Vera was born in England, but was married to an American serviceman during World War II and assisted in recovery efforts overseas during the war. Happy birthday, Vera. We want to see your heroes. Send a photo and a brief description of your nominee. All you need to do is text it to 216-344-3300. We want to share them on the air. Again, just text the photo to 216-344-3300. We'll be back. Well, right now, the latest product we may see a shortage of, hair care products. Walmart says hair dye and beard trimmers are just flying off the shelves now that salons are closed. There's also been a need for sewing machines as Americans work to make their own protective masks. Walmart is one of the retailers that's seen an increase in sales as Americans have bought more groceries and household items. It is among the essential retailers that have stayed open during the coronavirus pandemic. And one of the country's largest pork processing facilities is closing until further notice. Smithfield Foods will idle its pork processing facility in South Dakota. That's because 200 of its employees have tested positive for COVID-19. Smithfield accounts for between 4 and 5% of pork production in the U.S. Jay?
Monica, now that we're all staying home more, it means people who wouldn't normally use technology are using it to stay connected with family and friends. And that can mean a lot of strain on the shoulders and the neck as we're constantly looking down. We got some great advice from physical therapist Dr. Katie Long from Metro, who actually sent us along this picture of her niece, who's 2 years old, having a Zoom video conference with her nursery school class.
Everybody is now engaging with technology in ways that we haven't before, and we're connecting in all different mediums. So parents can have their kids engage in some of the same things that we've talked about us changing. So making sure their kids' devices and laptops are at an appropriate height and eye level, and just watching them and being mindful and reminding their children that their positions can have a big effect on how they feel throughout the day.
Another age group getting more familiar with technology right now is the elderly. My 80-year-old mom in Phoenix actually streamed her Easter Mass yesterday from her home. I was so proud. It's a good reminder for really everybody, but especially the older and all of us, when you're doing this and working more and more online, please remember to take breaks.
For all ages, but especially those who aren't used to engaging with technology so much, make sure you're taking breaks. It's important to step away from our devices and give our eyes and our bodies a rest and be active in between those episodes of chatting with family and chatting with friends.
Another thing you can do is order gadgets like either pop sockets for the back of the phone or phone stands to make using and holding those devices just a little bit easier. Well, Easter dinner wasn't the same for most of us, but some got creative. I love this idea. Look how this local family managed to have a nice dinner together while still practicing physical distancing. Look at that image. Pretty cool. Doug Bardwell and his 7 kids made food at their own homes, then met up at a parking lot, formed a circle with their vehicles, set up their tables, and enjoyed a distanced family dinner. Pretty cool. We like stories like that. It gives us hope, gives us reason to smile. So if you have one, share it with us, please. Just send a photo spreading joy during this crazy time and text it to us. Brief description would be helpful. 216-344-3300. We want to share them on air with you. 3 News Connect is coming right back. Before we wrap up this edition of 3 News Connect, we'd like to get you up to date on the 3 latest coronavirus headlines that have people talking. Kent State has officially canceled all on-campus events through the 4th of July. The state of Ohio has started coronavirus testing for inmates now at all 3 of its facilities. And actor John Krasinski from The Office teams up with Big Papi David Ortiz to give frontline healthcare workers in Boston the surprise of a lifetime. That is certainly worth the watch. You can see it and all of these stories over on our website, WKYC.com. Also, it's available on our app. Well, nearly 43,000 Disney employees will be furloughed due to the coronavirus closure. This is the first large wave of temporary layoffs since the park closed back in the middle of March. They'll begin on April 19th. Disney made the announcement after coming to an agreement with several workers' unions. Monica?
Well, what have you been eating while you've been stuck at home? Apparently, most Americans are craving comfort foods. The president of General Mills says cereal sales are increasing. So what are the top brands? Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Trix, and Lucky Charms. But there's also been a surge in dairy sales and sweets, along with vanilla, an indication that people are baking more. And one Cleveland mom is using her time away from work to bond with her son, and she's doing it by getting really creative with his food. Jasmine Monroe has her story.
The life of a mom dealing with chocolate and raisins.
From lions to elephants and Buzz Lightyear to SpongeBob, Constance Alexander does whatever it takes for learning to be fun and delicious for her son Apollo.
Just see his facial expressions, whether they're the, oh wow, or the just throwing it across the room, like, what is this?
Constance says due to the pandemic, she had to stay at home. That's when she put her artistic ability to the test, making different characters out of food.
I did food crafts before, but not like this. It would be something maybe during the holiday or something like that, but not just every day in my kitchen making teddy bear oatmeal.
Her food Picasso was such a huge hit, she went viral on the Shade Room, receiving more than 450,000 likes from moms and dads across the world.
And even this morning, people have been making what I made this morning. Like, I learned from you, thank you, it was fun. And so it's just so nice to have the support of moms.
Constance says although she typically would be at work, spending more time with family has been worth every bit, or should I say, bite.
Have fun with your children while you can. It's a great time to take the opportunity to bond with them.
Good job, Apollo. Keep going. All done. You're all done?
For more ideas, you can check out WKYC.com. And I am certainly not as creative as that, but over the weekend, Jay, I made sugar-free Corona cupcakes. I tried to make them look like the virus. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be here at noon again tomorrow for 3 News Connects. I know, they were horrible
Not
looking.
because
I'll take a picture
they're
and throw it.
sugar-free. Yeah, well, not because they're sugar-free, but I'm going to take a hard pass on those cookies. All right, that's it for today. We're back tomorrow at noon. Betsy Kling and the entire 3 News team will join me at 5 with What's New. Monica, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day.